Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to episode 13. I'd say episode 13 here on Comlands, the one tile challenge created and put forth by Zorch Farming. Go check him out. Link to his channel in the description, to the very first episode that he posted of this series, listing all the rules. As well, you'll find all the links to as many people as I've sort of collected links to as far as who's doing this challenge, but I imagine there's probably a lot more people doing this challenge that aren't listed in the description of this video. If you know of somebody and you want to share, go ahead and share, and we'll add them to the list. So we're now in the month of we're still in the month of August. I guess we left you in the month of August in the last one. I think I mentioned I was going to be getting the grass planted, so I did. I've done everything short of rolling it, I guess. I mean, we're fertilized, we are planted, we're ready to rock, so that's good. I don't know, I was saying we could use herbicide, but I don't think we can use herbicide because this is grass. I think in this episode I want to, there's a couple things in the balance of August here that I think I'd like to get going, and then we want to get into September where we can plant this section of the field here with wheat. I have run a few tests on some things. I was really curious of whether or not this grass field would get a proper full cut before winter, and it turns out that indeed by the month of October we will get a stage 4 of 4 here. So I mean, it's entirely possible. In this episode we're going to do some stuff around the farm here. We're going to throw a number of trees which are now stage 4 of 4 into the firewood production. We're going to get this field planted. Possibly we're going to get this field mowed. We'll see how that goes. But if I do get this field mowed, so we need to buy a couple things. I need a chainsaw, so we cut that. Oh, actually, do I have a chainsaw? I have a chainsaw. Never mind, I got one. But I do want a way to drag, perhaps a winch, so we can drag those trees into the production. What I've been doing, as I mentioned, that I've been dropping some trees. Some of them I've been cutting them up and hand bombing them, but some of them I've been able to actually drop right into the trigger, so I haven't had to do anything with them. And I think there's probably a couple there that might reach. Let's check the trajectory. Yeah, I think we're good. Super scientific. But I might need to buy a winch. Winch is fairly inexpensive, but we are starting the day off with $40 in our bank, so we're not exactly starting in a position of strength. Also, if I do get to the mowing stage, I don't want to mow with that double sickle bar mower anymore, and then the windrow. I mentioned that I want something that drops the swath. Am I going to get there? I don't know, man. That might be a little bit too much to ask for, but we'll see. I'm not happy with the current mowing situation, although I guess, I don't know, whatever. I mean, maybe this isn't the biggest field to have to worry about, but I just don't like what we got going on for mowing right now. I don't know. We'll probably end up suffering in this field too. Who am I kidding? And then I have one other surprise thing that I'd like to do, but there's an additional species that I would like to put into Animal Corner over there. So we'll hopefully get that. It's a pretty inexpensive investment, but hopefully we'll get there. So currently we have no money. The only thing that I can see that makes any sense of selling right now that's relatively close to a respectable amount compared to its high value is the apple juice. So we're gonna go and sell that right now. We'll sell the apple juice. We will then use the money to purchase something to allow us to move the wood into the... I just don't want to have to hand bomb log. Like, I don't want to have to cut every single tree up into a bunch of pieces and then hand bomb it. I'd like to just basically move logs into the production. I gotta look and see where this is best sold. All right, it's best sold at the market stall for fruits, which is at the back over here. What was that? We just hit something invisible. And now it's gone. That's the last thing we need, is to start hitting invisible things. Please don't crash, map. Please don't crash. Great. I don't think these sell when they're upside down, but thankfully we can pick them up. All right, we started the day with $40 and now we have $38,464. Life is good, folks. All right, let's go put this back, and then we'll go do our normal run up to the animal area and grab whatever we can grab up there. Wool, milk, that kind of stuff. I'll have to grab milk trailer. So in one of the fast forward tests that I did in order to see kind of, well, actually it was probably the only one where I was trying to see when that grass was going to grow, there was a really nice tractor that popped up in the used department. So that could be also something we may want to look for. Currently we have nothing. You get nothing. Fantastic. We don't have any selection whatsoever. Man, I earlier got onto New Frontier, and it was almost like it used to be that I would just, you know, live in. Oh, I don't have anything over here. I must have brought everything. Did I already bring everything over? I must have brought everything over. Yeah, I totally brought everything over. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, typically I would live in the used market because of the extreme used selection mod or whatever it's called. But on this map, I just don't never look at used. All right, let's check something else quick. Let's put these additional species in now. All right, so this is going to be the pigs. I don't want to get too close to the cows, but I doubt I'm going to get to the point where we put chickens in here. I guess it'd be nice to have a little bit of room just in case. All right, so we gotta free place this. I'm doing the auto water one. Well, listen when I place this. Oh, the first one, I swear I thought I heard an oink. All right, we definitely want them to have access to this, to the woods. Oh, yeah, I heard an oink. I swear I thought I heard an oink. Okay, so we don't want to plant meadow. We'll just smooth her out a little bit here. All right, let's hide some of our shame with a little bit of grass. And what would a pig area be without some mud? Still doing that weird pixelated thing. All right, that's workable. So we're going to go collect some of our pig food. Okay, well, while we're up here, we can get a little bit of water for our sheep and our cows. I probably should have done the self-watering way back when we were setting everything up, but that's all right. Got a bunch of triggers here. So the one thing that I'm concerned about, so I did test chickens with my with all the rest of the species, and I ended up with quite a bit of floating animals. So I didn't notice that though when I was testing. Oh, as I'm saying that, I see a goat right there. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna ignore stuff like this and just pretend that that's not happening, and we'll just enjoy the fact that we have all these different animals on here. Yeah, so this will be a fairly ambitious episode in that we are looking to get a whole bunch of stuff accomplished. These guys have water, 7,200 liters, and these guys have 12,000 liters. Okay, well, let's take this with us. We can always bring more water. Let's go get the pig food, and then we can purchase some pigs. So the nice thing about pigs is the little guys are super inexpensive. You know, you can get started, I think, for, are they what? Like $200 a piece, maybe? Something like that? So we'll put in a good handful anyways, and then, you know, over time we can expand it. But I mean, they basically, all we're really doing is just feeding them until they get fat enough, and then we're selling them. Put this up here. So far my neighbor's not been angry about me parking my stuff on their property, but I'm sure at some point that'll change. Yeah, so as long as we're producing like flour in there, we'll be producing pig food as a side project or whatever, a side effect, as a whatever. You know what I mean? While we're producing the flour, it's also going to be making the pig food for us. That's kind of why I opted to get into the pigs, was because we had the pig food. Otherwise, wasn't really interested in trying to mix pig food and like try to make the pig food. It doesn't really seem very fun to me, right? Where you get potatoes and all the rest of stuff. But I remember doing that on Valley Springs, I had greenhouses there to basically grow the ingredients we'd need for the pigs, but I didn't get too far with that. All right, the good sign is when it actually, when you actually have a trigger for the food. All right, while that's pouring, let's make a purchase. So I think what we'll do is basically we'll just pick like maybe 5 of each of the brands, I guess, for now. Yeah, so it's about $1,000 plus a shipping fee. So the size of the enclosure allows for 315 of these little guys. And there you go. What's up, man? Oh, crap. Okay, goat, get back down on the ground, buddy. Look at this guy. Oh my god. He's like, I gotta get to the food. If there's one, there must be more. Oh, here comes another one. Alright, well, I mean, it's not all bad. Like, some of the animals are walking on the ground and some of them are floating a little bit. Alright, and I guess while we're here, we could put another load of TMR into the cows. And we're down to 30 grand. I was watching Farmer Mike has gone on to his one tile plus, I guess, one tile challenge plus. So he's moved in that direction over there, and I believe bought the 2 adjacent plots to the starting plot, and then proceeded to take, was it like 500,000 liters of grass? Is that what it was there, Farmer Mike? That was a lot of grass. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he'll have his hands full. He's got a lot of stuff going on there now. I think I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go that way, I believe. I had thought about a couple different ways of expanding beyond. As long as I get my loan paid out, it's kind of work enough to purchase these 2 pieces of land. Because if you look at it, we have 65, and so it's like $238,000, almost $240,000. So I'm going to make it where I have to purchase this one and this one at the same time. And then obviously I can't do anything with this corner here. That's the store. But I'll have all this land, this hill, everything in this pocket to be able to work with. I don't really know what's over here, what I can do over here, but we'll take a look anyways. I think this is a hill or something. But that if we expand, if we go one tile challenge plus, then that's what we'll end up doing. All right, so for the trees, we have kind of 2 options. We could go winch, which we know this one's $8,500. Likely, we could drag an entire tree, maybe cut it in half and drag an entire tree. I don't think it's going to be too heavy for this. So there's that option. Then as an alternative, we could look at like a $3,000 log fork. It will require a little bit more work, but we'd save $5,500. I'm pretty good with a log fork. Actually, I'm pretty good with pallet forks and cutting trees down. You know what? I should just make everybody suffer. Let's do a little bit of that. Do I have a weight? We're gonna do a little bit of pallet fork forestry work here. I don't have a weight, do I? Let's see how heavy these trees are. Well, let's first see if we can drop one into the production. Just envision me holding up some grass and dropping it so I can test the wind. My phone's making Discord messages in the background, notifications. All right, let's see. Ooh, I think I missed the trigger. Now this one's going to land right on that silo, so let's see. Oh yeah, that one hit the silo. Uh-oh, I'm afraid to look. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That's like the worst possible thing that could have happened. I have an idea how to handle that. That's unbelievable. Look at that. Please, come on, why? Why do you do that to me, Farming Simulator? Anyway, so we can just push this over, I hope. There's the one. Wow, really? I can't believe that actually happened. So let's see if this works. All right, this calls for something bigger. I did not see this going this way, folks. And I also didn't see us needing the harvester this month. Let's see if the harvester gets me enough height to be able to reach. If I can get a branch cut on one side, then, or like part of the tree cut on one side. Oh yeah, we should be good. Then it should knock it off balance. Say we should be good, but... Okay, so I just unfolded it, so hopefully that gets us a little bit more height. Okay, well, if we look, it's registering that it's a lodgepole pine. Okay, well, the hard enough hit of the silo from the harvester, it just fell down. Let's just go with that. Whoa, that was crazy. What a pain in the butt that was. How much of that I'm going to keep in, we'll find out. Oh, now I'm just getting reckless. All right, well, this should be in the right spot now. All right, 26,000 liters in there. I guess I don't have to, like, so the thing with these trees, we don't have to cut down tons of them because it will only produce so quickly, but I do want to get, I'd like to get all these down. So I tried playing around. There's I thought maybe we'd go with also like an additional production, and I found there's a small, like, okay, that was weird. This must be one of the duplicate trees, I guess. There's a toy production. Yeah, this is where we had those weird double trees, I bet. Anyways, there's a toy production, but so I did test that out. Weird thing about it though is when I placed it, it allows you to put wood and planks in, and then there's like some different options for what it produces, but it looks like it only produces wood chips for some reason. And when you try to activate the toy production, it doesn't actually do anything. It's almost like there's a weird glitch to it. So I don't know if that's just a problem, or maybe it's conflicting with a mod that I have installed. I don't really know what the deal is with that. It seemed like a reasonable price, and it seemed like a perfect footprint. It was relatively small, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna do that. There's a smallish sawmill that we could try to work with, but when I was doing the testing, I didn't have enough money, so I don't really know much about it. All right, so we want to clear the spawn point. Oh, this fell over. And we're not really winning so far today. What the heck? Yeah, really, we had no used selection. We drop a tree on top of the silo. This thing's got like no collisions on it. The only good news is we have a lot of stuff going on. That's a positive. All right, we'll just see if maybe if I hold the, if I can get the loader arms into the right spot, maybe it will just give me the option to attach. Okay, perfect. I think I can only take one of these at a time. Yep. What do you think of that? Oh man, this is going to take a long time if we have to start working with these. Let's see what the price is. Yeah, we're well short of any kind of good price for firewood right now. It would make sense that it's a winter thing, I guess. So, alright, well, let me just move these over here quickly. Is it quick? I don't know. Let's call it quick-ish. I really don't know how big a spawn point this is, and I don't think we have a lot of room for storage inside that production, but I will double check it. All right, well, that's good. Let's put this somewhere maybe a little more secure, meaning a little more out of the way. You know what? Let's put it right beside the house. Nothing's going to bump it if it's right beside my house. Oh, great. There, that should work. All right, well, okay, so the thing with the wood, obviously, February is the selling price for the firewood, and we have all those trees to cut down, so we can basically pick away at those trees over the next couple of months anyways, before it'll be time, because I don't really have the money or the space to put in any additional productions, so I can't see us, worrying too much about getting all those trees cut down right away. I guess the flip side is we could sell some of those trees at the, I'm sure the wood sell point. Yeah, so if we wanted firewood processor, I mean, that's us, right? The little market. So we're the only game in town when it comes to, are these both us? The little market is us for sure, right? Oh, it's saying that the firewood processor is a sell point. All right, well, I don't have any intention of selling the wood by itself. We did that, so we got the wood set up so we could make firewood, basically. So we want to keep doing that. Okay, so you know what? I think we are probably dead in the water for anything to do here in the month of August. I think we've done everything we can do in the month of August, so I'm going to go read a book, and we're going to come back in the month of September when it'll be time to do that wheat field. All right, just going to make the bed here. It's September now. I don't expect that we'll see snow, but sometimes I just sort of anticipate snow. Thank God there isn't. Oh, this thing is on fire. All right, so it'll hold 15,000 liters of firewood, and it looks like it's making it fairly quickly. No, it's not making it fairly quickly. I just had this time set to 30. Each one of these is 1,500 liters. Okay, so that's not too bad, I guess. So it'll hold, what, 10... It'll hold 10 bags in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 in there, 10 out here. Okay, well, that's not a lot, but that should keep us busy from now till February. Oh, man, that's a lot of... I realize that's going to be a lot. All right, well, we got to do a quick rounds to gather whatever the animals have provided us, and then we'll get the seeder out and go do that. I did notice I'm almost out of fuel here. I wonder if I can see the BGA from here. It looks like the BGA might be out of bales, actually. You know what? Let's go check it out. We'll grab the trailer here for the liquid, for the milk, and then we'll go check the BGA to see what the deal is there. So I activated grape juice and grapes. So grapes are now growing in one of the greenhouses, and we're making grape juice. I did bring a box of grape juice over here. It's the one on the end. So I have one box of grape juice now stored over here. I can't pick the grape juice up. That I have to use I have to use my pallet forks for that. And if you look up there, there's actually one thing of spinach or tricolora pasta and one thing of pea pasta in storage now. So that's great news. Just great news. Let's go check this and see what's going on. Yeah, so you can see this grass is looking pretty fluffy, but I do know, I've got an inside scoop on the month of October that it will be fully ready. Oh, we have more pasta now. Holy pasta, man. Okay, so down here we have only 21,000 liters of straw left. We're up to 26,000 liters of... Okay, let's check the price of the electric charge and the methane. Can we set that stuff to sell now? Electric charge, yes, we can do that. Yeah, so the electric charge and the methane, if we set it to sell, it's there. So I think we have to do this. So if I go to BGA, I think, do I have to just do that, I guess? Just change it to selling? Selling. Now it looks like we are storing digestate, but selling everything else. Okay. I mean, I think that works. What time is it? 8:31. So we should see that money come in at 9 o'clock. But we do need to get some straw down here. So first let's do the animal thing. Then we'll get some bales down here. Oh yeah, we're gonna have our hands full soon, folks. I was kind of tempted to put one of those storage racks down here by the BGA specifically for the pasta, but then I didn't really have a lot of room. So I figured, well, you know, let's not... It's so typical of in FS to just, you know, you see a need, you immediately just figure out how to solve it. But if you can struggle along sometimes, maybe that's a better way to do it. Maybe not. Okay, what do we got? We got... I guess what we'll do is we'll bring the wool up for now. Then we can come back for the goat milk. There probably isn't a lot of goat milk in there because they don't tend to spawn much. 132 liters. I mean, that's not the worst. I think there's a sheep eating the cow's food. Okay, the sheep have 6,000 liters of water. The cows have 10,000 liters of water. These little buggers have still pretty much a full thing of food. They're 100% healthy. All right, well, you guys just continue doing what you're doing. I'm not going to look around because I don't want to see any floating animals. Let's go put this where it needs to be so old Granny can continue with her nightmare and the dairy can continue making the stuff we need, and then we'll get those bales down to the BGA so that can continue going, and then we'll put some seeds in the ground, which is going to be awesome actually. So we gotta put the seeds in. We've got to have I already fertilized? I may have already fertilized. I may have put manure down already. We'll have to double check that, because we do want a fully fertilized and well producing field. There you go, Granny. Welcome to your nightmare. Oh, easy. Thank you. Alright, so we don't need this to go get the goat milk. I don't need to go the scenic route either. Oh my gosh, we are gonna literally have our hands full as I'm picking this pallet up, but well, the used vehicle gods were not good to us last month. I wonder what we're dealing with now. Oh, actually, quite a bit of stuff, but not anything we need. Okay, well, that's the animals taken care of. Next, we will go and get those straw bales over to the BGA, like I mentioned. We'll probably also take a moment to move the pasta up to the storage rack so we keep that dock there free. And then seeds in ground. Seeds in ground. Once we get the wheat into the ground, we'll probably have a look and see if there's anything that's good for sale today, or good to sell today, just so we can keep some cash flow going. Let's put this. We'll go draw. I was gonna grab some of that, whatever, that sunflower oil or olive oil or whatever, at the same time, but I'm kind of trying to keep these racks organized. So if I put milk and grape juice onto those racks, and then we put everything else onto the other racks, maybe. You know, I was talking about wanting an addition, or wanting to really kind of pare down my my grass work process and make it a little more civilized for myself. One of the things in that Farmer Mike episode that I was watching, when he bought the extra land, he went ahead and he has 2 tractors, and he used so he mowed. What did he mow? He mowed, and then he got out the windrow, and then while he was doing that, he had a helper following in his other tractor. So he was using the follow me mod, and he was baling, which I thought was pretty smart. I forgot about that mod, to be honest with you. It definitely made for a more enjoyable experience, I think. All right, we'll see. We'll see if these unload. I should always double check to see what kind of like setting I'm in when I go to load the bales, but I didn't. So now we're looking a little weird. All right, let's make sure we don't accidentally sell these here. All right, well, you know what? The good news is there's a grass field here, so while that's there, although we should kind of test it. Yeah, I should be able to sneak in there when there's actual crops. So it's 8:56. 8:57. So in a minute or so, we're going to see the effects of the electric charge and the methane. How that will affect our bank account. You guys keep your eyes up there. I'll just quickly get these pallets done. Pasta's nice and light. Okay, we're 8:59. So we just made like $13,000. That's cool. Unfortunately, while I was watching, I seem to have dropped a pallet. Alright, so I should be able to just back this right into the dump point for the storage, I hope, and and then we can store this stuff. If we do expand the lot down here, I'll put storage down there so I don't have to bring this stuff up here. Okay, that's what I thought. Because we have no straps on here, it just allows us to dump them in there, which is fantastic. All right, I'm going to put this back, and then we're going to get the cedar, and we're going to get rock in there. All right, we don't have any solid fertilizer. So we're off to a good start. That won't be cheap. 1,400 bucks. Not as bad as I thought. All right, so we're set to wheat. We can drive across the grass. That's good. Somebody did tell me in the comments that when you're harvesting, or sorry, when you're mowing grass, it's impossible to then also mow the crops. Farming sim doesn't work that way, which is good news. So I don't have to worry about accidentally mowing up like crops, which is nice. 'Cause that is a genuine concern of mine. These are always good moments to sort of take stock and figure out exactly what the heck's going on. So if you think about it, we have grass growing in 3 fields in 2 stages. So the one on immediately to our left will be ready in the month of October. The other 2 fields, one shares this field with this, what'll be the other half will be wheat, and then the one right out there. Those ones we now know not to mow in the fall. Wait till the spring and get like double the yield or more, I guess, when we go and harvest it. So patience on those. So we'll get one more big cut of grass this year, and then there'll be kind of like 2 and a bit because we should get to stage 3 in the one we harvest next, the one we mow this year. If that makes any sense. So that's good news. This is really the only like non-grass crop that we'll have growing right away, but the intention with the grass is to put oats in the spring. And then one of the fields, I think I said I'd put corn in the field, the one that has the more like the sooner, the one that the grass will be ready sooner. So will I put corn in the field or not? That part I don't know. So far we're not set up for corn, other than just selling it. I don't even think I have anything that I can do with it, which is not the end of the world. I mean, I can sell it obviously. The corn cribs. It's funny because I sort of took note of it for the first time in a while on New Frontier, but they do not seem to work quickly by any means. On New Frontier, I have 2 of them going, and it seems like this was the first episode that I recorded where I was actually able to sell some dried corn. And did I even sell it, or did I have an issue with it? I must have been able to sell it. Yeah, for sure I sold that. I want to say I did have an issue trying to find a place to sell it, though. I think that was my problem. So 1, 2, so we have a bunch of gardens going. We have the firewood production. We're making flour around that building. We're also making, we have a dairy. We have an oil production, and then a firewood sell point. So that's all good news. We're now up to 3, I guess cows, sheep, goats, and pigs. So we're now up to 4 different species up in the animal corner there. Plus we have the 3 apple orchards or whatever. So that's a very productive piece of land over there. That's the trick with these small land challenges. You have to make the most of the space. I bet you we could make a pretty decent killing if I sold all those trees as wood. And then if I put in, I want to say it's like $40,000. I don't really want to put any of like the mini productions. And I think in this series here, we'll sort of steer clear of the Gaming Joy Industrial Sawmill. So if I wanted to find something that just wasn't super powerful, but those like base game $36,000, you can put them in your garden shed productions. They're a little frustrating. I think we'd be waiting quite a while for any wood products to come out if we did try to utilize one of those. So looking at the mini map down there, yeah, I must have put manure down because we're green as far as these seeds going in and this field being fertilized. I believe that's what that means anyways. Let's just look here. So this is Yeah, I think we were already fertilized, were we? Anyways, feeling good about having a nice healthy field. We'll hit it with the herbicide, and then we'll hit it with the roller afterwards. That's not too bad. Not too many steps. I think at the pace we're going, I doubt I'm going to get to mowing. This episode will probably span this month, and then mowing will happen in the next one. And maybe we'll win the FS lottery between now and then and see an amazing solution for my grass work issue. With mostly just the issue is me, but just such a pain in the arse trying to harvest any kind of grass. So it'd be nice to make it more enjoyable with some kick-ass equipment. It's getting a little bit full over here. Just trying to get to my sprayer, and it's not exactly the easiest when you got a bunch of equipment in the way. Even if the equipment is all small. All right, there you go. That should be good. So we'll just grab the sprayer and we'll go hit that wheat field for future potential weeds. How are we for herbicide? I need herbicide. Okay, so I don't have anything other than just this. Just this, basically. This tree catcher here. Plop. $240. All right, so let's get this done. So funny note on this, I was actually, we were doing some marketing for a, I don't know how to say it. It was like some real estate developer, but they also have a farm. And anyway, so hard to explain it. But I don't remember what she was talking about. She was talking to somebody about something, and you know what? They were commenting on everybody's always amazed by drones or whatever. I use drones almost probably every day. I put a drone in the air for money. She was talking with somebody about how amazing drone technology is. Then we got on to some of the how drones are used in agriculture with whether it's spraying or anything. Drones are used for all kinds of surveying, that kind of stuff. I mean, there's that fantastic. Actually, I was on what's Grant Hilbert's channel, where they brought in somebody in that they used a drone to scan their property and then map out all the stones, and then they went out with a skid steer with that really cool, like, I don't know, it was like spinning wheels on the front of it that fed the rocks into the bucket. But basically, by going through and scanning the entire property first, they were able to build a map, so that way the skid steer operator could basically just follow a map of the most, the most effective route around the field to collect the rocks. So anyways, we were talking about crazy stuff like that, and then she said something funny that I guess I just take these things for granted. She said, you know what we have now? We have these sprayers, so when the arms go out, they actually detect the weeds and they activate, the nozzle that, like the appropriate nozzle for where the weeds are. And I just started laughing. I'm like, man, it's like, like precision farming. It's pretty funny that, there's somebody in the farming industry, granted also in others as well, but, talking about this like discovery she had made about this technology. I'm not even a farmer, and I already knew about it. So it's pretty much drama-free in regards to putting the seeds in. I was contemplating these sort of hail spots. It looks like there's seeds going in, and I mean, I looked at like the way the grass grew where I planted. So I planted grass where some of this hail damage was in the other fields, and it looks like it's coming in fine. But I often wonder, like, should I, maybe the next time so there was a harvest where this entire field was empty, right? Perhaps what I should do the next time that happens is give it a real good deep plowing again. Go in, get rid of the rocks even maybe, and then get the layer manure in there and just kind of sort of start the plot from scratch. I think what happens though with precision farming and your environmental scores, I believe the less you plow, the higher your environmental score is. So that's the bonus you get when you sell things. So I think I heard that that's how that works. So I don't really want to give up any money just for a freshly plowed field. So I got to kind of maybe dig a little bit there and see what the reality is. But yeah, it would be nice. You can see off in the distance, like it just makes for a very inconsistent looking field. So it might be nice to just fresh plow, get right in there, get deep, get dirty. Could be good. But anyways, yeah, it'll feel nice once we get this herbicide in here. I'll get the roller out, and then we're probably just chilling. That might be it for the month. Actually, we might just be chilling for a while until we get to the next one, because I think October is going to be a mowing. I don't know. We'll have to. Oh man, something's going on with the sheep over there. Did you see that? So somebody was just like doing something funky over there. Anyways, just while I'm talking, you should watch the animals. I think I see a cow floating. I've seen things appearing and disappearing. It's been interesting, but yeah, we may have to sell some stuff. I don't know what. We'll have to take a look at the pricing to determine whether or not it makes sense to, because do we want to invest in our grass work, or do we want to just suffer one more time with our current setup? Maybe what we do is the mowing's the mowing. Maybe I just suffer through with the mowing, but then maybe I find myself a better windrow, because I think we're like a 4 meter working width right now. But what if I got like the Samaz 6 meter working width and really cut down the amount of time I got to spend in the field? And perhaps if I can ever be, if the game will ever, oh, okay, let's go fill this up. If the game ever floats another tractor in front of me, then maybe we can use follow me to help bail. Then we just have to go out and wrap and pick everything up. All right, now we just got to figure out where we let off. We can follow our tracks back, which is nice. It's not like Lime where it's very easy to figure out what you've been doing. Somewhere around here, right? There you go. You always know later on when you missed your herbicide because you can see the weeds. So what else are you guys playing for games? There's been some patches or a patch anyways for City Skylines 2. There's been a bunch of, I don't know, I think they've been having some issues with some common mods and stuff. So I did try to load into the game the other day to see about, I love wiping, like a lot of the mappers will put some infrastructure there. They'll put some roads, they'll put some railways, they'll do all that kind of stuff. Usually what I like to do is just go and get rid of all that stuff, do some landscaping, add some water, and then I just love building the sort of initial highway road network, and then putting in some rail, blasting, doing some, excavation, that kind of stuff. I never really get very far with building cities though. Typically it's kind of like Farming Simulator. I love the setup, but then when it actually comes to maintaining the big farm, I'm ready to go. Well, it's kind of no different with that game. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of good stuff happening with it. I did jump onto Planet Coaster the other day. Those games drive me crazy because I'll tell myself, you know what, just get on there, go make a park, have some fun, make something psycho where people have to, like, I don't know, just make something fun. And then I'll spend 2 hours, building the front entrance. Because you can get very, very specific with it. And you're like, oh God, I'll just kill myself with that. But I did get onto that the other day. There's been a ton of changes since the last time I played that game. The other game that looks interesting that'll come out in the fall from Frontier is the next one in the Jurassic World franchise. And this one is supposed to be very Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster-ish, I guess, which are Frontier games. But from the customization, where when I was talking about spending 2 hours just to build a front entrance, well, that kind of gameplay will come to the Jurassic franchise, but with dinosaurs. And apparently you'll have you could set up dino petting zoos. You can do just different things, which would be kind of interesting. I'm not a huge dinosaur guy, but I know I've got a kid that I'm sure will enjoy that, who already likes those sort of builder games. He loves Planet Zoo, so this is like Planet Zoo but with vicious animals, I guess. And then the other one that keeps drawing me back, while we play a lot of MX bikes. I bet you there may be one of you out there that plays MX bikes. Anybody? Put your hand up if you play MX bikes. That's just a motocross, supercross simulator type game. Super fun, definitely kind of wonky, but probably one of the best dirt bike games out there. So we have a lot of fun playing that. There's a new one coming out, I think, next year? Motocross the Game, I think it's what it's called. It should be pretty cool. A lot of hype around that. The other one that keeps trying to draw me back in is Hell Let Loose. Who plays Hell Let Loose? Anybody? So that is a World War II first-person type game, but it's not just like a crazy first-person shooter run around and do. You can do that, but you'll lose. There's a lot of strategy, tons of communication. There's squad leaders and strategy and everything. So that's super fun, but extremely stressful. I started playing a lot of that, and I can find stress other ways. I don't need to log into a video game to play stress. I actually ended up uninstalling it at one point. Kind of curious. Maybe it might be time to reinstall it, but I'm afraid that I'll be quickly reminded why I stopped playing it in the first place, because it just ain't relaxing, All right, we're almost done here. Let me go get this thing put away, and then we'll get the roller. Okay, if I remember correctly, the second I lower this, it's bad for the grass. Yeah, so I don't think I want to roll the grass is my goal here. Avoid the grass. The planted grass, that is. Yeah, these fields will look pretty nice once all this is done. Last off-topic rambling while we get this roller done, but anybody following the motocross, pro motocross in the U.S. there? Big weekend, High Point. I think, what is this, round 4? Round 5? I can't remember. But this episode will go live after the weekend, so we'll have already watched the race, but pretty excited about that. I think they were calling for possible rain. I don't know if that's still the case, but it's in Pennsylvania. I want to say Pennsylvania, not Philadelphia. Pennsylvania, I think. But yeah, so mud is the all-time equalizer in that sport. You could be the fastest guy, but the second there's mud, that's when surprises happen. So that keeps things interesting, because then you don't end up with people just running away with the championship. Because there are a couple guys that are in a league of their own. I'll say that much. Oh, insane riding. I'd have to say some of these guys are. I don't want this to sound a bad way, but they're like missing a part of their brain that would most people is kind of like the whoa, stop for a second. I think this is dangerous. They seem to be missing that part. Some of these like elite riders, and they just launch full speed. The starts are insane. There's 40 guys all going for a corner, and then typically soon after that corner, there's a big jump of some kind, and they're all going over it, and they're within feet and inches of each other, and it's just wild. They often, in the motocross world anyways, they often, talk about how the sport is highly underrated for its savageness and brutality. How like a rugby or an MMA get all the credit when it comes to what's a brutal sport, but when you look at the mayhem on the track in our sport, it's just crazy. God, look at how this field looks nice when you get this thing rolled. So I feel like we made some progress. We added some pigs, which is good. We have the wheat in, which is fantastic. We got our first pallet of grape juice, which is great. Now that we're producing grape juice, we got a few more. We got a few trees, full size trees for once, into the firewood production. We know what the target is going to be around January. Probably I would imagine as soon as we get to around December, we can start watching for that firewood. The BGA is now so the challenging thing with the BGA is we don't really have any. We're not gonna have any straw. So we saw how quickly it burned through the straw that we had given it. It's gonna be hard to feed that thing. I think it's gonna be dormant. I think at times. Well, let's see. It's 10:59. Are we gonna make any money right now? 38,519 is what we have. 30. Yeah. So we made like $100. we are still set to sell for the methane and the electric charge. Don't know what else to do with that stuff, because I don't see that there's probably some way to transport it, but how do you transport electric charge in a battery bank? But anyways, I think we're gonna leave that there, guys. I will do a couple things between now and the next episode. I will make sure that the firewood spawn point remains clean or clear, and we'll have a nice stack of firewood off to the side that we'll eventually get to deal with. I'll continue moving pallets around so they're out of the way, which is, not fun, but it's something. I will make sure that the animals are fed, that kind of stuff. And then basically I will, if I can figure out a way to jeez. If I can, holy, that thing just slid right across. If I can figure out a way to better our mowing existence, then I will. But other than maybe a bigger windrow, I would assume we're still going to be on the 4-meter working width mower that we have, and just really it's the windrow. That's what I gotta probably figure out. But yeah. So with that, we will say goodbye, and I will see you in episode 14. All right, ciao.
To the street.